When a baby is born in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we have what we call a baby dedication, and we dedicate the life of that baby to the community and the community's life to that baby. And if you've been to one of these, you'll see that it's very different from when you go to a christening in a lot of Christian congregations. The first time that I ever went to a christening in a Catholic church, I was so moved by the beauty of the ritual. It felt ancient. It felt so beautiful. And I had this envy that I often have of other religions. Oh, it just felt so holy to be in that kind of ritual space. And then they picked up the baby and they said, and now we cast the demons out of this baby. And I was like, what? Demons? I know that baby. That baby doesn't have demons. And I looked around at all of the Catholic people that I was with, and none of them were listening. I think I'm much more word-oriented. They loved the ritual of it. They didn't care about the demons because I was like freaked out by it. They were saying this baby was born sinful, and the only thing that can save this baby is the love of Jesus. So now we're going to bring that love of Jesus into this demon-filled baby. Original sin. St. Augustine gave us that. Well, original sin is not where Unitarian Universalists live. Instead, I think that we have a sense more of original blessings. We talk about the spark of divinity in each person. We understand the human capacity for evil. We understand that people aren't all good, but we do believe that each of us is born with a stamp of the divinity, which with no reason that we need to cast demons out. And so instead of saying, here is this needy, evil sinner in need of salvation when they come to us, we say, here's another redeemer. Another redeemer has been born in this world. What does that mean? That means yet another person who's part of the web of humanity, the web of the universe, the web of all that is, here to help, to save us all. Because none of us are saved unless all of us are saved. Some people believe in this rapture where you're driving your car and suddenly, woo, if you're good, you're pulled up and you go to this perfect place. I'd be more likely to have a bumper sticker that said, after the rapture, can I have your car? I don't have a theology where someday some people who are for some reason chosen are going to be separated from the others. Rather, I think we're all in it together. The Buddhists call this notion that we're all in it together, that we all rise and fall together. They call it dependent co-arising. And they say that because this happened, that could happen. Because that happened, this could happen. And that's what I think work for justice is all about. It's not about being a savior. It's about being part of that great dependent co-arising. Now, if dependent co-arising feels a little complicated for you to take into your mind, think of this old nursery story, this nursery rhyme, which I think actually is describing dependent co-arising. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the message was lost. For want of a message, the battle was lost. For want of a battle, the kingdom was lost. And all for the want of a horseshoe nail. So what I think is true is that we never know if that tiny little nail that we have is going to be the one that allows the horse to run, that allows the message to get through. We're never going to know that. I worked on a campaign recently where we knew that the vote might be incredibly close. And every day as we talked to people, we had a sense, this voter could make the difference. This voter, my work could make the difference. That urgency was so profound, and we don't usually walk around with that sense of urgency. But in truth, we never know when the kind word we speak, we never know when our gesture of care, we never know when the $5 we give will be exactly what's needed to move something along. I don't know about you, but sometimes people say to me, what you said to me was so helpful. And then they'll proceed to say something I have absolutely no memory of ever saying to anyone. I used to say things like, are you sure that was me? But after a while, I decided it really didn't matter if I said it or not, because they heard it. And if they believe that they heard it from me and that's helpful to them, fantastic. So now I've learned just to say, thank you. And sometimes I thank people. I say, that word you said to me really saved me. And sometimes I can tell that they can't remember either. But for want of a nail, the shoe would have been lost. And so I'm thanking them for giving me that nail at just that moment when I needed it. That, I think, is what it means to be a redeemer. It means to understand that while we're not going to save the world, we're going to be there with the horseshoe nails that we need to have. We're going to make sure that that horse that we care for has all of its shoes on tight. So, my sister and brother and sibling and cousin and beloved co-redeemers, my dependent co-arisers, let us be about this work of salvation. It is indeed holy work, and the world has never needed it more.